content. Shilling. What's wrong with Brie Larson now? The fandom is broken once again. These shills, grifters, and nils have ruined everything. Now it falls to me to assemble a crew to fix this broken fandom. Computer, find me a video games expert.
Name Mr. Green Expertise Video Games, codename The Great Daitokuji.
I need an anime expert.
Name Mr. Blue Expertise Anime and Comic Books, codename Kenshiro.
I need a movies and collectibles expert.
Name Mr. Black Expertise Collectibles and Movies, codename GQ.
So yeah, it's going to be a great episode today. We've got Megatron from RoboSyn, and it's going to be a good unboxing.
Finally, I need an operator.
Name Mr. Red Expertise Wrestling and Comic Books, codename Simon Says.
Be sure. Acknowledge me.
The team is complete. Computer, assemble the Culture Junkies live crew.
Hey, what's going on, Culture Junkies? Welcome back to another episode of Culture Junkies Live. I'm your host, Kenshiro, with my boys, the Great Daitokuji, GQ, and Simon Says. Greetings to you all out there on YouTube and Twitch. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the bombshell news that dropped yesterday about Kathleen Kennedy. We're going to recap Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and a couple other things that we kind of wanted to talk about, including some news out of the DC studios that came out over the weekend. But fellas, first and foremost, how was your weekends? Anybody go do anything? Anybody watch Captain America again?
No.
Just chill.
I saw it once. It was good.
Is once enough for you?
Well, once is enough for a lot of movies, and then I may watch it again when it comes to streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, it was when you rented stuff and or bought it, because that would be something I would buy. But when you're paying for Disney Plus, and I don't think that's something that they will ever take off their service. I think the service would go down first before they take that movie off of their service when it goes on there.
Get your money's worth.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's other movies that they may take off. I don't think they're taking off any MCU movie. I think all those. I could be wrong, but yeah, a lot of movies I only watch once. You got to be special for me to want to see it again and own it in my collection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. GQ, you do anything?
No, not really. Just moving a couple of things around with the collection, moving some stuff in, moving some stuff out. There's a Chung-Li unboxing that's coming up, but it's not this Friday. That's actually going to be a Black Panther unboxing to finish off Black History Month. But there's a Chung-Li unboxing, so when you watch the Black Panther one, I'll have the other one kind of up ready so you can hit the notification and be ready to see that when it comes.
Okay. All right. Looking forward to that. Now, this is the one that you it's funny enough, he was complaining in our group chat how lazy some of was it FedEx, right? Oh, yeah. how lazy some of the FedEx workers are. He was looking out for this package. He was like, oh yeah, we tried to make a delivery. He was sitting at home, never heard the doorbell, but they left the note.
They didn't leave a note.
They didn't leave a note. It was just a message that they sent?
Just drove by.
Basically, I've literally watched a FedEx truck drive past, and then I called their customer service and talked to their supervisors, and they're like, well, what does the door tag say? I'm like, there's no door tag. The person didn't actually try to deliver anything. It's like, they're like, well, they can schedule it for tomorrow. I'm like, I don't trust y'all to schedule anything. Just tell me where I can go pick it up myself, because y'all, your
if he's that
drivers-
incompetent, right?
Yeah.
It's like, bro,
Wait a minute. And you watch this same driver deliver to the school that's right across the street from his house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Like, come on.
it's like either you had it on the truck or you didn't.
Right.
It's like don't lie and say you tried to deliver it but nobody was home. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
bro,
wild.
It's like, come on.
That's totally wild. That's totally wild. Simon Says, what about you?
No, I chilled.
Chill.
Actually, caught up some anime. Watched.
Oh, what'd you watch?
Solo Leveling.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have to
All
watch
right.
that
Every week to week.
Okay, so some people have mixed feelings about Solo Leveling, right?
Yeah.
Solo Leveling is full of a lot of action, sometimes some world building. And I was talking to my daughter about this yesterday. Solo Leveling is the manhwa was great, right?
Yeah.
And to me, right, it's a stark contrast between Aniplex is distributing this show, and they also distribute Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah.
But UFO Table doesn't do Solo Leveling, so the animation quality is a little bit different.
Yeah,
and you look at Solo Leveling, right? It's all fast paced, really flashy and stuff like that.
It's kind of like I'm not trying to put it into any like anime, but it's like it's kind of like, how can I put it? Because some of you guys, I don't know if a lot of the chat has like watched it, but I would say it's kind of, I won't say anything. I guess you can't really put it in any genre right now.
It's just the OP anime.
It's just like it's like I guess
OPMC.
OPMC.
Yeah,
it's not technically a isekai, but it's kind of like those like I guess like those hunter like I guess
almost
like
an RPG, like a real RPG.
it's like a real like RPG. It's
Yeah.
like some of those characters, you know how those like characters that start off weak and they gradually get stronger throughout the entire anime.
So those of you out there that are in the chat, well, we kind of see you.
Thanks for
tech-
subscribing,
your-
Wolverine. 42 months, buddy.
Your tech guy forgot the last step of getting the chat to appear on the screen, so I will rectify that in a minute before we get into the Kathleen Kennedy discussion. But no, it's just you look at Demon Slayer and how its fights are meticulous and really beautifully drawn, right?
They're like
really
colorful.
colorful. And then you look at Solo Leveling, it's like super fast, flashy, a whole bunch of cuts everywhere. Right? So it's like
You get epilepsy watching it sometimes.
Uppercutted that dude.
he ain't lying.
Right
He is not lying.
Dude, I was like, I
he
had
is
to
not
turn-
lying.
I had to like blink before I like passed out because like I was like, okay, she's like going off, man. It's like, goddamn.
Yeah, man. No, for real. Because like you can. It's almost like, remember back in the early days when Pokemon came out and they used to have the epilepsy warning. Yeah, Solo Leveling kind of feels like it needs that sometimes, right? So, but no, not to hold you, but Solo Leveling is a great show.
I love it.
It's a great show. I think some people don't like it because they feel like it's Jinwoo is too overpowered. He's way too overpowered. It makes him kind of boring, and his personality isn't really the best. But I found the story very interesting.
His personality is kind of like my man from One Punch Man.
Exactly.
Literally.
I don't know.
He's very
Saitama is not
he
really,
is nonchalant, but I feel like Saitama is funnier.
Funny,
right?
But Saitama is written to be funnier.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is personality, which is pretty flat, nonchalant, doesn't get excited, doesn't get angry, just goes out there and whips ass. It's kind of the same type of personality. It's just not written to be funny.
And it seems like there's no rhyme or reason. I don't know why the author chose to do this with Jinwoo, but it's like when Jinwoo
Jinwoo.
No, it's Jinwoo.
No, it's not Jinwoo. It's
Oh
Jinwoo.
yeah, with the W silent.
Yeah, the W
Jinwoo.
is Jinwoo.
So when Jinwoo, when he first appeared, he was kind of like meek and sheepish and stuff like that, and his personality completely flips, and now it's like almost like he's practically emotionless in certain ways. I mean, the only emotion he kind of seems to have is anger. Right,
yeah, pretty much. I mean, his whole goal at the moment is trying to get that.
For his mom.
For his mom or whatever.
Yeah,
so.
Interesting. So no, Solo Leveling is great. I would love to talk about it with you guys if you guys want to see it. I will go and turn on the chat so we can acknowledge some of you guys out there. GQ, do you want to watch one of the trailers right now?
Yeah, we can just start off with. I guess we're going to first start off with the Mortal Kombat T1000 teaser, which is a little quick thing. It's more or less an announcement trailer because he drops, I want to say March 18th, which is funny. Another character, we're just getting a trailer coming up later in the show, also is going to drop on the 18th. So I'm going to give Kenshiro a little bit of time to do what he needs to do. But I
want to say what's up to the other Steve, Wolverine, Amrock, Marcus. You guys are awesome. And Marcus, thanks for subscribing again for another 50 months, buddy.
50, good God.
Damn.
You guys are hardcore, and we appreciate you guys.
Definitely appreciate it. Rocking with us for 50 months.
But I'm going to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
So this new one, I don't know. We saw Conan, and basically I just call him Tux from.
He's very much like Tusk.
Yeah, but this one is kind of interesting because it's the T-1000, and like from last Mortal Kombat was
Mortal Kombat X had 11 rather had the T-800 and RoboCop. And it's interesting the guest characters they have, but the worst part of it is they're having characters that you would love to see in the same damn game together. It's
exactly.
Like you split them up game
they did that because you had Freddy, you had Jason, you had Leatherface.
Remember, Freddy was by himself with
he was the first one.
Yeah,
right. He was the first one.
Right.
But I'm just saying that he's been in the Mortal Kombat, but they're never in the games together.
I mean, they did
the Alien and Predator were in the same game.
They were in the same game.
They were in the same game.
They were in the same game.
Yeah.
But like you said, Jason was in 10.
Yeah.
Leatherface, I think, was in like 11. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so everybody was split up and whatever. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at the T-1000 trailer real quick while Kenshiro has gotten back here. So
yes, I have. Sorry about that again.
Yep.
Now, how is Mortal Kombat? Is it recovering?
People
like the people they still hate it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I mean, I don't quite understand the hate of a game if the fighting is good, but like the other amenities, like if they were to taking that out, whatever because like if I remember correctly, you're saying it has to do with a lot of the downloadable content and all this other stuff that didn't exist. Would the game still have the suckage?
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, DLC, and we can actually, of course, most people don't, for whatever reason, they don't show his fatality. I love that he's driving, I guess, a European truck. Yeah. Or one from Japan.
No, that's not, because back in the day, if you remember, they used to have cab over engines back in the day. They got rid of them in the United States, but in Terminator 2, that was the truck that he was driving.
Yeah, but he was driving on the right side.
He was on the right side.
He was on the right side of the truck.
He was on the right side driving.
Yeah, he was on the right side.
So
that's what made it weird.
Completely wrong.
Yeah, that part was wrong.
But again, it looks like it's gonna, and obviously there's some very close nods to Glacius for some of his movements.
Baraka.
A little bit of Baraka. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be cool. That drops on the 18th. It should be interesting. Oh, it didn't pause. Okay, I was wondering why we're still hearing stuff. But I think that'll be kind of interesting.
Oh no, I think that's over there.
Oh
yeah, I think that's over there.
What's over there?
That's why the sound is coming out of the computer over there. That's why we hear it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we don't want that.
That's it's coming out of the speaker there. Yeah, we don't like that.
Yeah,
we don't like that. I have to go there and fix that. It'll be over in a minute. It's just a little distracting to us, but I don't think you guys can.
We have some freaking chill music playing in the background all the time.
Right,
it's
gonna go there.
Exactly. Wait a minute. Why was that playing? Anyway.
I don't know. It's like it's almost like it's auto playing every time it switches, which it shouldn't.
Yeah, it really shouldn't.
So the pause button's not working.
OBS.
Yeah, it's like the pause button doesn't want to work properly.
Oh, there we go.
Nope, it's switching off.
That's so weird.
I might as well just watch it. Just put it on.
Yeah, we'll
let's just go straight. Might as well. Just maybe we just go to the next video.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
So the next video is Anna. Oh, so we're gonna watch this again? Or what?
No, I just want to give it a beat, so for the editing purposes.
All right.
All right, there we go. So this next trailer, of course, is going to be something interesting.
I wonder if everyone lost their shit when they saw this.
Bandicoot.
Well, the thing is, you already knew she was coming. Just the last one that they showed.
Some people are.
I saw someone trying to go at Harada on social media. That shit was funny. He cut him up, bro.
Harada don't take no shit for nobody, dog. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, leave me alone.
Yeah, man. As he shouldn't, but I just think it's odd that a character who's a mainstay is DLC now. Could you imagine if Street Fighter came out and Ryu was freaking DLC? Not comparing her to Ryu, but still, she was in the first game.
Absolutely, she was. She was a mini boss in the first game.
Yeah.
I mean, Akuma has basically been DLC.
Well, he was hidden from the first time. In the first 2 games he was in, he was hidden.
No, absolutely.
So I think that's a little bit different. But for her, she's a mainstay. I don't. It's weird to have a mainstay DLC in mind.
I think what it is they're going off of the fact that they know people will buy her. They know people want to play her, so it's a guaranteed sale.
It's 100% guaranteed, and I don't. I'm not hating on their marketing or whatever. It's just odd to me that they would save somebody. Because again, could you imagine the next character? Oh well, wasn't Heihachi also DLC?
Heihachi was DLC for the last. He was the next to last character for the first season.
Whipping RPG.
She's Anna's opening up the second season as DLC. I mean, Eddie was the first character of DLC from the.
Yeah, and he's also another one. Yeah, it's just to me.
He's been in it since Tekken 3.
You shouldn't have to buy those characters.
I mean,
he missed 4. If you,
but how are new characters going to flourish if you only just
do it the other way around? Freaking have the characters who are never been in the game as DLC.
Then no one will buy them.
Why not? You want to see what they like.
They're unproven.
Exactly.
And that's why you get these trailers like that.
Yeah, but
it won't matter.
It's because technically, I would say she's unproven too because she would be different in this game. They would have to tweak her.
She's still Anna, though.
She is Anna, but she would play a little bit different. She would do different things. She's fucking shooting a gun. She didn't shoot a gun in Tekken 7.
No, absolutely not.
So it's like she is different.
The other thing you have to remember though with these different characters, Street Fighter V. Now, granted, Street Fighter V had its own problems right off the bat. But one of the things about Street Fighter V is their entire second season was new characters, with the exception of I think Akuma was the only legacy character. And that, outside of Akuma being on that season pass, most people probably wouldn't have got it because all those characters were just new. Nobody knew shit about them. They were characters that were like, in some instances, people liked the different characters, over time. But from a straight up sales standpoint, when they made that announcement, a lot of people were like, "Man, no, there's nobody in here I want."
Right.
And because it got all new.
It's almost like because
people just want to play with the old characters.
Think about what happened with Street Fighter 3 when it first started. Can you put it on pause for a second? So when Street Fighter 3 first started, and practically everybody was gone, save for I think it was Chun-Li and Ken. They were the only ones that were from the original cast. It was like completely new. You had Alex that was new. You had Sean that was new.
Yeah,
hold on, you talking about Street Fighter 3?
Are you talking about
Street Fighter 3?
That's first, are you talking about
the first Street Fighter 3?
The first Street Fighter 3.
Chun-Li was not in there.
No, okay, she didn't show up to Third Strike.
It was Third Strike that
so
she showed
up.
up.
Ken and Ryu.
But it was just,
originally, it wasn't even supposed to be Ken and Ryu.
Yeah, it was just supposed to be one of them, right? And everybody else.
No, I don't think either one of them.
She was supposed to be completely new.
It was like Alex was the main guy.
Sean was the Shoto.
Yeah, Sean was the Shoto, and then like the rest of them were like all new casts. Ryu and Ken. I mean, Ken probably would have been like a background because he was training Sean. Other than that, no Ken, no Ryu.
And it was like I just remember the reception for that game when it first came out. They were just like,
it was
no.
Yeah, when they first heard about that, they were like, this game is gonna be trash. They pressured them to put Ken Ryu in this game.
They sure did.
I get you guys pointing all that other stuff, but it's just like it's exciting to see new characters.
Oh, absolutely.
But I know a lot of people. Oh, yeah, gotta have the legacy characters because it's not blah 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 without the legacy characters.
Shit, Samurai Shodown 2 was like people were still tripping about certain characters that wasn't even in that game.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that always comes back to though is like, for example, Street Fighter is rebuilt from the ground up every time they change numbers. Tekken has a lot of carryover, like with their characters. So usually with Tekken, you can, have Nina, Anna, Paul, whoever. And it's easy because they're going to basically play almost exactly the way they played in the game previous. Tekken 8 is the first time they've actually got some type of change with the characters. We'll see. I mean, I'm with you on Anna should have been probably, if not
first season DLC.
Well, the thing is, Nina's been in every single game.
Yeah,
she's never missed a game on launch. I would have liked to have seen Anna in there,
but not Nina.
Well, see, that's the problem.
Yeah, I think that would have been
never
an issue.
Do that.
Yeah, I think that would have been an issue. Yeah,
I don't know. It's just one of those things. But all in all, not too bad. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I've already got the season pass for Mortal Kombat, so I'll be playing T1000 a little early on the early access. For Tekken, I haven't played Tekken in months because it just Tekken 8 is not as good as 7 to me. Like Tekken 8 looks amazing.
Do we think Tekken 7 was clearly the best Tekken game ever made, or is the
5 is probably still 5 is
really
still the best one.
Really?
I like 4.
Yeah.
No, I like 5 because it took everything that was the best of 3 and it made it better because of 5, whatever. Because 4 was just like.
I don't know. I
like 5 too.
I guess I could just kind of feel like Tekken 7, as far as like introducing like an incredible guest character with Akuma, like literally bringing him over. Just from beginning to end, I felt like 7 never waned. It was super strong from beginning to end.
I'm going to tell you something. I bought 7 and I played through all the entire story mode. I wanted to do all that other stuff.
Yeah.
I had no interest in buying 8. I'd probably pick it up if I can find it 20. Yeah. Street Fighter 6, I played World 2 mode on a demo, and I thought that was phenomenal, but it was just like, it's not enough. And same thing in Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat X, 10, 11, I played through 11. Did I play through 11?
Probably.
I don't remember.
I know you got it.
I think I have 11.
Yeah, I know you got it.
Yeah, wait. Yeah. I played through 11 because that's when they reset everything, and they started that reset.
Yeah, I know you got it.
But it's just, I don't know what it is. It's. All
right. No, I get that. It's just, for me, it was just really strong. All right, so let's hit this last trailer and then we get into our main discussion because it kind of leads right into it.
All right, just get another recording going. And last trailer. Let's start this one so it gets a proper start. There we go.
Long awaited for this one. This dropped yesterday too, right?
Oh,
I think so.
Was it yesterday or the day before? I think
was it today?
No, I saw this like a day or two ago, dude.
I could have swore it was like yesterday.
No, I mean if it was yesterday, I'm mixing up 2 days because I don't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday, but I know I watched it not today.
Yeah, I mean this one. It's funny they dressed it up with a pop song.
I know. I thought it was weird choice.
I mean, it fits the editing that they did. The thing is, and what I'm liking about this is taking us right up to the doorstep of Rogue One.
Yeah,
exactly.
This is
it's like more action packed and everything.
I was a little confused by it too.
Because Saw Gerrera, I don't remember Diego Luna's character meeting Saw Gerrera. Like, I thought he didn't know who he was at first, because didn't he jail him or whatever?
Yeah, he did.
So, why? I mean, not saying that they're going to meet in this, but still.
Well, we don't know if that's Diego Luna that he's talking to in that scene.
Yeah, I don't think it. So, I don't think it necessarily is.
That's all I care about.
Is Mads Mikkelsen's character? I was wondering if he's going to show up in this. His character.
They could have him show up because I mean,
Galen Erso.
I mean, they showed him in the trailer, didn't they?
I don't think I saw him in the trailer.
They showed somebody, that other dude.
Yeah, the guy that was in charge. Because like, if you think about it, if you saw them making a Death Star, I mean, you would think that he would be like.
Well, by the time they got to that point, they said the work has stalled in the movie, so it could be a situation where near that point, we might see what the problem is, why they need to go in Rogue One and go pick him up and like, hey, come back, we need to finish this or whatever. But remember, that scene takes place when Jin was a kid. So who knows what the timeline is going to be here.
Okay. So this could be like when they actually caught him and he's still working on the Death Star and he's setting up. Because like, if you think about it, because like, what's the
No, they caught him as a baby. I mean, not as a baby, as his daughter was a kid.
His daughter was a kid.
So they already have him.
So Galen's been there for years.
Yeah, she's older now. She should be older now. So then he should be on the Death Star or like on the planet. Work on the Death Star. So this timeline, basically like you said, it leads up to Rogue One. So
you have to wonder, like, I am interested to see how the story threads all kind of tie together. A lot of the characters that the subplot with Mon Mothma to me in the first season of Andor was just so well done because it just highlighted how the struggles of what she had to deal with being an Imperial senator and trying to finance the rebellion underneath the nose of her husband and everybody else at the same time. I thought that everything about that was just fascinating. And just saw the political side of that we don't Star Wars that we didn't really get to see.
Wait, they put a different side than lightsabers in there?
Yeah, I know.
And people liked it?
Go figure.
What is going on?
Well, the funny thing is, the original complaint of the prequels was the politics.
Yep.
Then Andor, one of the most successful shows, is a lot of the politics. So it's like, what do y'all actually want? That's why, like I said, with the fandoms, it's like when people say, "Oh, this sucked" or "that sucked," it's like depends on what side of the coin you're sitting on at the moment.
True.
Because the prequels, you go back when we all saw them, the complaint was, why they doing so much talking? Why is the politics this and that? And it was like, I'm just sitting there enjoying Darth Maul whipping ass.
Exactly.
And then Attack of the Clones come around. I'm enjoying Yoda whipping ass for the first time. Then when you get to Revenge of the Sith, I'm enjoying the Obi-Wan and Anakin fight. So it's like all this stuff y'all are nitpicking. Find what you like and enjoy.
Yeah.
Just like shut the hell up.
Yeah, everybody, they want everything to be like, they're trying to, Star Wars is never going to be everything for everybody, right? Huh. Everybody's going to like certain aspects of certain things, and that's fine. You might like certain things better than others. Like, I really enjoyed the world building that went on in the prequels, right? We didn't really get a lot of that from the original trilogy because Lucas didn't have time. He had to literally make blockbusters, right?
Exactly. And we didn't even know if the first movie was going to be a blockbuster.
Exactly, right? I'm sure the first one, he wanted to do a lot more exposition and world building, but he didn't have time for that. So I digress. That brings us to the news of what we're talking about. Obviously, Kathleen Kennedy, we all heard yesterday, is supposedly retiring. Now, I know there's a report out there today that's saying that she's not necessarily leaving, but I think what the more clarification that has come out really is that she's expected to step down from a role as president of Lucasfilm at the end of this calendar year, 2025. She may stay on at Disney, but in a different role, right? So with that being said, Kathleen Kennedy, a very controversial, sometimes overly hated figure with regard to Lucasfilm in general, whether it's Star Wars or Indiana Jones. The successor, they say, is in Disney already, working at Disney already in a high capacity. Who would you guys want to see? We all know who the rumors are, and they say it is exactly who you're thinking of. So who do you guys think it should be to succeed Kathleen Kennedy? Who would you want to see take over?
Favreau.
You want to see Favreau take over?
100%, because he's done some pretty things with some good shows, and I think if he's able to get the supreme command, I guess you could say, he might be able to move the needle, I guess they say, to what people expect in Star Wars and add new stuff to it where it won't, I guess, piss so many people off.
Why Favreau over Filoni, in your opinion? Or you hadn't really...
Mandalorian, I mean, he's directed some good stuff. I mean, he is pretty good at when it comes to direction and directing and getting stuff done. And in order to get things done in a position like that, you got to be able to say, hey, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. That looks good. This looks good. Put that together. Like, Filoni's been a great visionary, I guess you could say, because Clone Wars wouldn't be without, Ahsoka wouldn't be without, Mandalorian. A lot of that stuff, has got Filoni's hands on them.
Totally. Okay.
But it's different when you're coming up with ideas and getting people to work with you to make those ideas happen, and then somebody who can actually take those ideas and breathe them into life, because a good director is that person who can take your idea, put it through their lens and bring it out where everybody can see it. And I'm not just talking about like his stuff that we've seen in Star Wars and Marvel. I mean, Favreau's done some pretty cool, stuff outside of things. Just, with saying that is being multi-talented in certain ways or being, multifaceted when it comes to how movies are made means you can get a Star Wars movie that is not necessarily, lightsaber swinging, and you can have something like a Andor, not necessarily Andor, but like a different type of story that can be done well, maybe, because he might be able to pick the right director, might be able to get the right visionary, might be able to do it right, maybe. Filoni is great, and I think if Filoni gets in there, we're definitely going to be starting to see Star Wars like I assume people expect it to be, even though myself personally have enjoyed the Star Wars I've gotten over the past.
Okay, GQ, what do you think?
Dido's basically got a lot of the same thoughts that I have. I would like to see Filoni and Favreau as a team.
Co-presidents, okay.
As co-presidents. Only because sometimes you run into a situation if one person's in charge, because this, again, Feige did an amazing thing with Marvel, but sometimes the complaint was he's over everything. Yeah. And now you got to worry about stretching yourself too thin. Yeah, I think if you have a team like Filoni and Favreau together, they're creatively they're amazing. Yes, but them being able, as far as their collaborative work, and if you look at some of the behind the scenes and making of on Mandalorian and even Bad Batch and stuff. Well, not so much Book of Boba Fett, because that was the one that seemed a little bit off on pacing. But Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2 were probably some of the most successful from an overall lore building, entertainment factor, action, all of that. The first 2 seasons of that were like probably the best stuff. So I think with that type of collaborative work, that type of team, I would like to see them and what they can come up with, and then who they hire to maybe take over various series. But if you have one person that has to oversee all of that stuff, they're going to get burned out. Okay, especially as wide-reaching as Star Wars can be. No, I think with Feige's example, he just had too much stuff to pay attention to, and early on, he was always in a fight with that dude from the TV side of things. Yeah,
Perlmutter.
So it's like
per sure name.
Yeah.
No.
So we'll see.
That's good. Yeah. I think that's a very good argument, solid argument for co-presidents. What about you?
I was going to say Filoni, but then he said both Favreau and together, because like I was like thinking like, man, and Mandalorian was so good,
so good, so good.
If he takes over, I don't know what future might hold, but I know it'll be in the right hands. But like he said, if it's produced between the two, who knows? I mean, that might work. It might be like something that they can like shoot stuff off of one another and like see like where they can go with the expanding universe, and also with maybe like, because I know are they still in the works of that the new movie with
Rey?
Yeah.
Supposedly, yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, it's supposedly, yeah. It's in production, they say.
But
so
I mean, if they were in charge, they can like just like pitch ideas. Maybe, I don't know, throw some characters that have slipped through the cracks. Maybe.
Or maybe
Mara
do
Jade.
what they should have did.
I'm not saying.
You're not saying Mara Jade?
I'm not saying.
I guess you are.
I
guess you are.
No, two things. First off,
go ahead.
I heard that first off that George Lucas, even though he has nothing to do with Star Wars now, hates Mara Jade.
Really?
I keep saying stuff that he abhors the character for whatever strange reason. I'd have to look up more to find out why. But number two, talking about that Rey movie, from my understanding, how they wanted to do the first, the first sequel movie
for a sequel.
Yeah. The new movies. The first one was supposed to be Rey was already an established.
Oh, you're talking about Original Force Awakens.
Yeah, Rey was already an established Jedi, and them finding Finn and finding that he was force sensitive and all that stuff. They can actually do that now. Yeah. Like Rey has come up more in the Force, whatever. Her and Finn haven't been around with each other for a bit, and she's searching for him because she knows she has potential. Or maybe they have been. I don't know. Right. They can probably pull that and actually do it.
I mean, the thing is, I understand where you're coming from. The problem is you got to worry about John Boyega's, how he was treated.
That's right. I forget.
He doesn't want nothing to do with it. Now, granted, they can recast, but they did approach that story in the Lego version of, I think it was Force Awakens, or it was some Star Wars Lego movie they did, and that was exactly what we're just talking about. Rey was basically training Finn. I think that's something that they have to kind of. It's almost poison fruit in this sense, as fruit of the poisonous tree, because unfortunately, a lot of people, whether it's a vocal minority online or if it's just really a lot of people, do not like the sequel trilogy for whatever reason. So I think anything that really if that's one of their first outings, that's going to be kind of like, y'all are just carrying on the same stuff she had from the Kathleen Kennedy side of things. And that's what I think. If anything new has to really truly be new. If they want to go back and revisit it later, by all means. But it's almost like they got to build up some goodwill with
no Rey.
All sides.
So you feel like they would kill the Rey movie?
I don't. No. They can do the Rey movie.
They can do the Rey movie.
I don't think it should be worried about going back into the past. It should just be whatever with Rey. Make her a badass in her own movie, doing her own thing. Then, if you want to come back around and visit some of the other earlier ideas and earlier concepts, cool. But I think with this, they gotta. And again, I had no problem with Rey when I was watching.
Neither
the
did
film.
I. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, the Mary Sue thing, which nobody ever can explain.
If she's Mary Sue, so is Luke.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like,
so is Anakin.
You know, they're like, oh, she didn't fail. It's like, no, she failed a couple of times.
Yeah.
She just didn't. She didn't get no body parts cut off.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So like that.
I mean, she damn near almost killed Chewie. So fuck
Right.
yeah, really.
I mean, right. That in and of itself is the only reason she can't lay claim to the Skywalker's name, because she didn't get nothing cut off.
Yeah, exactly.
But then
That's
again, Shmi Skywalker, she was actually the actual Skywalker. And
I mean, she might have got pregnant, but who knows?
Well,
I mean,
that was.
I'm not messing with y'all. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm trying to be funny.
Maybe female Skywalkers don't get stuff cut off, so who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Leia didn't either.
Yeah.
Think about it. So yeah, no, okay.
No, she survived in space.
Yeah.
doing her Mary Poppins impression.
That was funny.
Oh
That-
my
that
god, it
shit
was so bad.
That was so
I
funny.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, that
That was
so
the one
bad.
thing I wanted to say in the theater. It was like, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
That would have been funny. that would have been funny. All right, so I'm gonna throw a dark horse at y'all.
Yeah.
So the rumors also say that it's not going to be either Favreau or Filoni, but it's going to be Kevin Feige.
No.
That'd be a bad idea.
See?
I was thinking that
agree.
too. I
As
was
a
thinking
dark
that too,
horse.
but I was like, no, he's already
The
stretched
only
thin.
reason I say this, right, is because it's been 20 plus years that he's been over the MCU, been over Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
By far their most successful label that they have underneath the Disney umbrella in 20 years running. Lucasfilm has a perception of being, struggling, right? Would you bring someone in as Feige as a president to work in tandem with a creative director like Filoni, who that is his official role, is he's chief creative of Lucasfilm, and then have work as a trio where it's Filoni, Feige, and Favreau, the 3F brothers.
I think that's too much, in my opinion. Only in the sense that you've got, and again, Marvel's still not at its height what it used to be. So Marvel still has some quote unquote fixing to do, according in the eyes of some fans. The problem you're going to run into is who's going to head up Marvel if now you got Feige over here trying to do Star Wars.
Maybe bring someone else in that needs a new voice, a new direction. Who that is, I have no idea. Who would I trust?
They gonna put Ike Perlmutter in that bitch.
Hell, fuck no.
Perlmutter.
Hell no.
It's like, we ain't going woke. No more black people. No more women.
Right. Hell no. Does Marcus A64, does Disney reach out to George Lucas for his input? I doubt it. I doubt it.
George is relaxing with his
Yeah.
billions.
Billions.
And
Yeah, he's-
billions.
Yeah.
On that ranch,
And
just chilling.
And I'm going to be 100% honest. As much as I like George Lucas for what he did for the original Star Wars, he's very set in his ways about how he treats Star Wars. So, yes, it might, for a quick hit, is going to bring a bunch of people. Oh, Lucas is back, blah blah blah, and it's like within the first couple of projects, people are going to shit all over his stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they did with the prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember, he left because y'all shit on the prequels.
People are gonna shit on. I think this is just my, and it's a vague prediction. Anything Star Wars that comes out, people are gonna shit on it. There's been two that I can think of at the top of my head, and the original trilogy does not count because people shot on top of that. We just didn't have the internet back then.
Correct.
And from my understanding, and I could be wrong, a lot of fans loved it. Critics too much didn't care for it.
Right.
As Mandalorian wasn't shit on and Andor wasn't shit on. Almost every other Star Wars property has been shit on.
Yeah.
And the only one that deserves
film
is
wise, right?
No, Star Wars. Period.
All the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, movies, TV shows, not video games, not books, not comic books.
Right.
We're talking about visual things that on the
Okay.
television or screen.
Okay.
But the only one that really truly deserved it is Book of Boba Fett.
Somehow, I feel like I thought Clone Wars was fairly well received.
No, you don't remember the first movie when we went to go see that?
Oh well, you're
I
right.
think everybody
I
shit
hated
on
that.
it.
Marcus
Shit, I hated
right.
that.
Rogue One was one of
Rogue One was the
Okay,
only one.
there you
Yeah,
go.
Rogue One was
But
was
Rogue
shit on.
One,
Yeah.
I think Rogue One, outside of Force Awakens, Rogue One was the very first thing that you saw after Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the first, even though yes, it fell within the original trilogy.
Yeah.
It was the first new thing that you saw that was not 100% tied to,
Skywalkers.
Granted, it's still there,
Right.
But Rogue One was so well done.
Exactly.
It was
And when I say Andor, I was trying to include Rogue One into that.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I don't know. Again, I personally enjoy Star Wars for the stuff that I like out of Star Wars. I don't everything does not have to be catered towards me. Look at Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew was basically Star Wars Goonies, and it was fun. I was like, okay, this is fun. Yes, if I was probably 12, 13 or whatever, I would have enjoyed it even more. But it's like, bro, it's like I can't go back in time. I'm enjoying this for what the story they're telling is fun. I'm enjoying this. It's cool.
Yeah, you can have feelings about, Skeleton Crew, acknowledge that it was fun, acknowledge also that it was flawed. It totally did not stick the landing. And that's an opinion I have. You may feel differently about that, but you cannot deny that Kathleen Kennedy has not overseen some really great things with Star Wars over her tenure, as president as Lucasfilm. Yeah. Like Star Wars, if George Lucas had his way, we wouldn't have had Star Wars at all. So count your blessings, right? Y'all would have still been begging for them to do more Star Wars movies. It was almost like you're begging for the kid that you beat up and you bully to come back and keep giving you more stuff to for you to bully him with. Anyway, right. I digress. That's beside the point. We got real about quick, 20 minutes left. Yeah, go ahead.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Was Lucas a billionaire before you sold to Disney?
Yeah, actually, I think so. I believe he was already
more than likely, just because of Skywalker Sound and
ILM. Remember that? Didn't he have a stupid Pepsi contract with Star Wars?
Well, that was high millions.
Yeah,
like I take that back. That was a $2 billion merchandise.
And how much Star Wars movies usually cost to make? Maybe 250
at the time.
Don't forget about
it was a paltry sum compared to what he got.
So that man could literally fund his own movie by himself.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't forget about Lucas Games too.
Don't forget about Lucas Games.
Yeah,
ILM, Skywalker Sound. Like my man was never short for money.
No,
he never short for money.
That's what I'm saying. When Disney bought it for $4 billion, it was like, bro, y'all are getting it for cheap.
Yeah. Really though,
compared to its value,
right?
Because at the time, Skywalker Sound and ILM touched almost every single movie that was coming out.
Yeah,
they literally had.
Weren't they showing out
everything?
But wasn't they showing out like close to like 20 to 40 mil for the Hulk in that the first Avenger movie? When they first got, because they were like paying ILM for that animation for the Hulk.
That wasn't Disney. The first, remember, Phase 1 was not Disney until Avengers. Phase 1 was...
That's what I'm saying.
That's what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. To animate the Hulk in the Avengers.
The Hulk for the Avengers.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I mean, again, that's just part of doing business anyway. But in the sense that Paramount was footing the bill for all of the first part of the first phase of MCU. But I don't know. I mean, just looking at it in the sense of, I don't know, if Lucas came back, I think the fandom now is too toxic.
Exactly.
And some people will like it and they'll be all happy or whatever, and you have some people that, it's the second coming and all that other sort of thing, and then it's like, okay, and then as soon as he puts out one thing that they don't agree with, or if he decides to, like,
change something up.
Yeah, it's like, I've been planning to have a female lead for this. People are going to lose their shit.
Yeah,
it's just going to be like, bro, y'all asked him to come back. Now you should
black female lead.
Well, exactly. As soon as
man,
so it's like,
would they lose their heads?
Yeah, you got so many people out there that just can't get out through their skull. That it's like these stories are told for a broad audience. Not everything is going to be tailored specifically to you.
Yeah,
because the movies that are successful
understand that they don't have to speak to a specific audience.
Exactly.
They try to get as many people in as possible.
Everybody out there got main character syndrome. They need to get over that.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to another Disney property that we didn't get to talk about that yet. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man's first season ended this past week. 8 episodes, and it seems like it was the show was out for like maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, they did not release it every week.
Right.
They were releasing 2 or 3 episodes a week.
Yeah, it was
very
crazy.
Weird release schedule.
Very weird. So
I think they were just trying to get it out there.
Probably before
guess,
Daredevil.
I guess it may be.
Because that was him.
Yeah, Charlie Cox was his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was.
Cool.
Yeah, Charlie Cox was his voice.
I didn't even recognize
Yeah,
it.
they said that when they first announced the show 2 or 3 years ago.
Really?
That he was that Charlie Cox was going to be the voice. Yeah, that was like the first hint that the possibility of him coming back as live action Daredevil was a reality because he got cast as this, and at that time people were like, this show was going to be tangentially connected to the MCU.
Yeah.
So they were like, wait a minute, if Charlie Cox is going to be his voice, then he's going to be mad again. They're going to bring Daredevil back.
Could
that was
you
the first
imagine
time.
if they did him like they did my man
Ben
Ernie
Affleck?
Hudson?
If they did him like Ernie Hudson.
No, Ernie Hudson. He auditioned to be Winston in the cartoon. They said, "You don't sound like Winston," and he was like, "Bitch, I was Winston."
What the hell are you talking about? Yeah,
but they did that to him. Arsenio Hall was Winston in the cartoon because they didn't think he sounded like Winston,
which is hilarious.
Could you imagine they did that to Charlie Cox?
Did y'all ever see the
movie?
movie?
Shit.
100%. Yeah, no. So, what'd you guys think of the first season? I know it was only 8 episodes. Quick thoughts.
I liked it.
I liked it.
Can you expound on that?
I liked it because I liked to see a Spider-Man beginning that was a little bit different from the rest of them. The trials and tribulations of him being Spider-Man. He wasn't just stuff was just given to him, unlike the live-action recent one time.
Just given to him?
It was just given to him. Tony Stark gave him everything.
So,
in a cave in a box. No, that's not how it goes. Yeah, he did give him to. He did.
So how is it different than Norman Osborn?
Norman Osborn is not. He was doing out there being Spider-Man before. Now maybe Tom Holland's Spider-Man was doing that. We just didn't see it.
When Tony found him, he was already Spider-Man.
But even all the stuff that he was giving him was kind of like shit because it was not Tony Stark. You saw those costumes, he's flying around and
I
stuff.
know he had great technology. He just had shitty designs.
Yeah, I think they were literally going through that just to get a whole bunch of Easter egg designs and stuff out in front of the audiences, so they little callbacks and whatnot.
Yeah, but
it is parallel.
Beat,
no, it is parallel to the MCU.
Okay, I'll retract my statement. Yeah. Outside of him, getting stuff given to him, but he got his ass beat.
Well, one thing that they're showing,
he had to learn from that.
No, absolutely. The experience is definitely, because the escalation of the people he's fighting is going up and up and up. One of the things that I do like is they are showing more of his genius side. They showed it a little bit in some of the live action Spider-Mans, especially the one where he's fighting Doctor Strange, and he figured out that the mirror dimension is basically math or geometry. But we're seeing more of he's freaking ridiculously intelligent. So we're seeing more of that. At least in this show, and they're showing more of the supporting characters and stuff. I like Lonnie's backstory.
Oh man, great stuff.
Because the way they do
tragic.
They made it so realistic.
Yeah,
because like that literally could happen. That's something that we could even in our lifetime, even in our when we came up in high school. That's something you could actually see happening to somebody, like for real. Like so that that aspect of it, I really enjoyed.
I just want to know why they were leaning on my man so much. Like, it was like, you had his brother, you say, you know what, exchange me for my brother. All right. He's still going to school. He's still trying to play football. You call him superstar because this motherfucker play football. And they're like, where you at? Where you at? It was like, why are you leaning on me so much?
Right.
What am I, like, come on now.
I have a question. My question, I was just curious.
Yeah.
The spider that bit him, was it a dimensional spider?
No.
Time loop.
No. So okay.
I'm just curious.
This is spoilers for people that haven't seen the show. So if you want to skip past this part for the next maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and come back, and see
it
the
sounds
rest.
like
but basically
the chat's watched it.
Yeah. So basically, everybody that's out in the chat seemingly has watched it. So essentially, the spider that bit Peter, the Doctor Strange that came through the portal.
Oh, okay, because I was like,
was the same Doctor Strange that stopped Norman at the end from trying to open the portal to space.
Because I got confused in that fucking part.
Right.
Yeah.
So when the Clintar came through and was fighting them, they had already experimented on Peter's blood from the future. That's what kind of because they were trying to replicate Spider-Man, and so that spider got loose in the fight when Doctor Strange basically used the Eye of Agamotto, used the Time Stone. He went back in time accidentally. He
That's why
didn't
they
mean
say,
to.
we're not supposed to be here.
We're not supposed to be here, and that was the. It was weird. It was. I don't know what the phrasing is, but it's like literally completing the time loop.
It's a paradox.
Yeah, the paradox. So
Okay.
essentially, he created himself. Essentially,
It's the Kyle Reese thing.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
It's literally
Kyle Reese,
you're not going to be here unless you send your father back to basically
Correct.
have
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the great. That's a great way of thinking about it. Yeah.
It's the Kyle Reese problem.
Yeah. John
basically.
Connor wouldn't have existed had Reese not gone back in time.
I'm still kind of curious if that's because the spider's still out there. Are we gonna get either Miles or Cindy?
So
I'm thinking Cindy. I'm curious.
In every instance of the original Spider-Man origin, after the spider bit Peter, it died.
Yeah, but
Right.
then that bullshit original Sin came out.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
they-
Yeah.
Like I said, that was bullshit to
Yeah.
me.
Well, they retconned it for what is it, Silk?
Yeah,
Yeah, for
Cindy
Silk.
Miller?
Yeah.
So that's the only person that it would make sense for because
Right.
he's too young to have a Miles Morales around him.
100%.
yeah.
100%.
Miles just a
But
baby.
here's
Right.
but the thing is though, she hid for like almost 10, 20
Yeah, in a
years
bunker. Yeah.
for like a decade because of
Well,
Morlon.
They're gonna have to either axe that or just bring her in and just let her have a whole different story.
Yeah.
Because if they're gonna keep because that's always been one of the things, like the spider that bit Peter is the spider that bit her. So if they're gonna keep that, they're gonna have to drop something else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So for me, the show, like people are saying in the chat, the Tombstone story was great. Wolverine Solid X said, the show definitely has a lot of potential. For me, the only thing that bugged me a little bit was the animation style. I know you, Simon, you said you really liked it. It didn't bother you at all. And it reminded you of a comic strip, and that's exactly what they were going for. They were trying to reflect the Steve Ditko, John Romita look of the old Spider-Man comics from the 60s and 70s. The only thing that bothered me was in certain angles, the show looked a little flat. Even though we know it was 3D, certain angles, I don't know, something just seemed a little bit off. Like it lacked depth because they were trying to do the whole comic book panel deal, right?
They're trying to make it look flat. That's the whole point of the
right.
cell
But
shading.
and to me, from my eyes, it looked off.
Your TV better than mine, then.
Yeah,
'Cause, like,
so-
I'm just like, this is entertaining.
I don't know how to
to.
explain it. Like it seemed like some of the characters had no weight, like barely any shadows. There was no real shadowing in it.
Now
like,
you looking
so
way
again,
too close to stuff.
No, again, I mean, as a
He ate
guy
that
who was
pizza and says the pepperoni didn't have
Hey,
that
look,
wing and that pepperoni like that.
He said the pepperoni just reimagined after he ate it.
Yeah, it was like, what is going on?
Look, as an artist guy who
That
looks
wasn't
out for a lot of
pepperoni.
these things, those things kind of stuck out to me. That's all.
No, I ain't gonna hold you up on that. It's how some people, like you said, anime has got you at that vision point where you see things differently when you look at Americans. It is what it is. I mean, I like I said, I enjoyed it. It just looks like I'm reading a comic book, but on TV. I'm watching it.
No, you're 100%.
I'm just waiting for the bubbles to come up on the screen, though.
Yeah, that is like the only thing that's missing, right?
Yeah, exactly,
is
dude.
the bubbles, right?
Or the flip when he shoot the webs out.
Yo, actually, that would have been a nice effect.
Sweet.
That would have been a nice effect. Yeah,
that would be sweet.
No, you were gonna say, go
Well,
ahead.
the only issue with that though is like I said, it's like me. With the reason I don't watch anime in a lot of instances is because of the fact that I don't know. I don't like tropes, or at least a lot of the tropes that anime relies upon. But you can't expect American animation to use a lot of the tricks and stuff from anime because they're not going to. That's not their style. That's almost like looking at a particular movie. That's why it's better to just see it for what it is and enjoy it for what it is. Because with a lot of movies, it's like, okay, if I go off of
back to Mike Bison's point way back in the day. If like, we looking for Martin Scorsese's Transformers, or we are just going to accept the fact that Michael Bay is the one doing Transformers,
right?
And then you move into like Bumblebee and then Transformers 1. All right, somebody else did it. I can't compare it to Michael Bay because it's not Michael Bay's. This is this, and that's that. That's kind of how I look at it. It's like each movie or each show or whatever is it's like, okay, let's see, this is their style, this is their lane, that's where they're taking it.
So what were you talking about, a black Norm Osborn? What about a
with that wave game? Man.
No, man, he had to,
man, that's why they did it, because
Norman had to be a black man.
First thing I imagined was him sleeping. He had the do-rag on, waking up. No, that was like the waves. The waves was.
Yo, man, that was the only thing missing from Willem Dafoe's performance as Norman Osborn.
Oh,
he had
the waves.
The waves, bro. That's all he was missing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally all he was missing,
and
man.
And then I'll think about the female Dot Connors.
Okay, so I know that a lot of that is controversial for a lot for
I didn't care. Or is she Latina?
Yeah, I think she's probably Latina. But I'm trying to remember. So
Lonnie's girlfriend was Filipino. She looked like she was black.
Yeah. So for me, I think they said her name is. It's not even like it's another C. It's Connors, but her first name is. It's not Kurt or even an anagram for Kurt as a female, name. It's like something completely different, but it's still just CC. So anyway, I digress. I'm getting off. Marcus A64 is asking, is Nico supposed to be this story's version of Madam Web? No, Nico is Nico. Like she, if you're not familiar with Nico Minoru, she is a character from a book called The Runaways that actually had a show. If you guys haven't seen The Runaways,
I didn't watch it.
But basically, Nico has the staff of one, where basically she's a witch. She has powers. The staff can basically do anything, and it can activate off of one word, but you can never use that word again. Like literally, if you say "shut up," right? If I said to you guys shut up, it will work on that first time, right? It will work that first time, but I will have to come up with another way of saying it. Like I'll have to say it in another language or another phrase. You can't use it multiple times.
Cutting down your vocabulary.
Exactly.
So it's not like
exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So one other question that came up, Kenshiro, in your opinion, does Spectacular Spider-Man do the Ditko style better than this particular Spider-Man?
So no, and we're talking straight from character design. Wise, right? Character design, this show encapsulates the Steve Ditko style. Spectacular Spider-Man, to me, was the best representation of Spider-Man I had ever seen up to that point, right? It was the best Spider-Man animated show. I know everybody has their feelings about Spider-Man, the animated series, and all this other kind of stuff, but to me, Spectacular Spider-Man was the best Spider-Man show.
You ain't like, what about, you think you said the 90s Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's what I said, the animated series.
Shocker! Yo, come on, man.
Shocker!
That was the shit, man.
I know people, like, again, they have nostalgia for that show. I'm not taking any away from it, but what personifies Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man had it until this show.
Okay.
So this show, to me, is right there with Spectacular. If you guys haven't seen Spectacular, you should go back and watch it. It's actually a fantastic show.
On Disney?
Yeah,
it's on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Maybe.
It's actually really good. Oh, speaking of Tombstone, the Tombstone in Spectacular Spider-Man was a G. It was an absolute G. Voiced by Keith David, bruh. You got to go watch that. It was fantastic.
Says the style reminds me of Reboot, but a cleaner look.
For which?
Man, that's kind of disrespectful, bro.
Reboot is so early CG.
That's kind of disrespectful, man.
Are you talking about? Hold on. Are you talking about the Spider-Man that came out on MTV?
No, he's saying this show reminds him of Reboot. I'm like, bro, that's kind of disrespectful, man.
Yeah, very.
Well, I mean, like you say, it's got a cleaner look, though.
I guess.
Oh, I didn't realize the Sam Raimi Spider-Man was on Disney Plus.
Yeah, they're pretty much all on there.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to watch Spider-Man 2 for some time.
Even the Amazing Spider-Man ones.
I don't see the Spectacular Spider-Man on here.
Yeah, go to animated.
I just put in Spider-Man to see everything. Unlimited, Ultimate, Spider-Man is Amazing Friends, Your Neighborhood Spider-Man, Homecoming, Far From Home, Spider-Man 3, 1, 2, 3, Spider-Man.
Oh, wow.
Amazing
They took
Friends,
it off?
Spider-Man, Spider-Woman.
Yeah, they must have taken it off because it was on there.
Yeah,
it was
on,
definitely on there.
Oh, okay, he's saying the way they move. more so than anything.
Oh, okay, I got you. See, and again, that also brings me back to it. The animation seems a little disjointed sometimes, right?
Reboot that you need to go back and watch the reboots.
So
because if you're going off of your memory, dude,
yeah, maybe I guess, but Spectacular is on Plex if you want to watch it.
Oh, okay. Plickety plex, baby.
Yeah, so if you want to watch it, it is there. All right, so we got like 3 minutes before we got to cut off. Was there any other things that we missed that we wanted to talk about that kind of came up?
Well, we might have to move it to next week. You said something about the DC showcase or something.
Oh, yes. We don't have time to talk about that, but yes, we wanted to definitely talk about some of the stuff that came out from DC Studios and what we can briefly talk about it. So basically their content output, James Gunn has said, we're getting a whole slew of different new shows, including My Adventures with Green Lantern, which is a spinoff of My Adventures with Superman. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a Starfire show. There's going to be a DC Superpowers show.
Clayface, isn't he getting a show?
Clayface is getting a movie.
A movie?
Yes, Clayface is getting a movie.
Ram.
Yes, and they're treating it like a horror, macabre flick.
Is it going to be
Joker?
Huh? Is it going to be what?
No, go ahead.
Is it it's not Matt Hagen, but Carlo Bout?
Probably.
Yeah.
Basil Carlo? Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Marcus, we talked about Super Saiyan 4 Goku
we talked about that
last week. Even though we didn't talk about adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
Yeah. So.
No, I would rather it be Hagen.
Yeah, I would too, because that's the one that most people are familiar with.
That makes sense,
right?
Yeah.
Plus, they gotta redo that scene from the from the talk show.
Oh yeah,
his face was all melted.
No, not that. Like
not that one.
No, remember remember they had that show that was almost like a Phil Donahue or whatever.
Yeah,
in the animated series.
Yeah,
and they were like, okay, so you got the renew you. It's like, dang it. Why don't you tell them what overdose could do? Dang it. Why don't you tell them about me?
Yeah. Yes.
If they do that, then the movies get 4 stars from me right off the bat.
Yeah, no,
but I
100%.
hope it's not a situation where they're trying to do another
Perlman's
Joker.
voice for it.
No, just another. Well, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
But I hope they're not doing another situation where they're doing a Joker where it's like,
oh yeah,
the entire movie is about a villain that needs Batman in the movie at some point to make this work.
I hate breaking it to you, but yes, that is exactly what they're doing.
So it's just a standalone.
No Batman. It's literally about Clayface. So it's like Joker. It's like the Penguin.
So it's gonna be sort of like
if it's as good as the Penguin.
What the whole Marvel villains from the Spider-Man villains that.
Oh man, don't put that on them. Don't put that on them.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something.
The only reason I said that,
he may be putting it on him. Marvel, excuse me, Sony didn't do it right.
Thank you.
I correct myself. Yeah. Sony didn't do it right. But
Warner Brothers, good.
Warner Brothers, DC, so far with the Penguin,
yes.
Bruh.
Mm-hmm. Penguin was fine because Penguin took place after a Batman movie that we saw and acknowledged that Batman movie.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we didn't see him. That's fine.
That's fine.
Any given night, you might not see Batman.
Right.
He might be busy dealing with Joker. But the problem I had with the Joker movie was it's like if you're going to do Joker and not have Batman, at least do Joker right. And to me, both of those movies, they didn't do it.
Well, the first Joker, granted, is not what we expect the Joker to be, but I did enjoy the first Joker movie.
Yeah, I did too.
The second one, I have no interest in watching because as soon as they said musical, they lost me.
Yeah.
First off, you guys, and I'm talking to not you guys in the chat, but you people who may see this sometime in the future about producers who do stuff.
What
real
do you
quick,
mean, you people?
Hold on. Wow.
Musicals. I'm talking about you people, the people who produce movies and stuff. Musicals are dead. You're not trying to do them like they did them back in the day before action movies, before cowboy flicks. That's when they actually knew how to do a friggin' musical.
Yes.
They can't do that now. And we're not in the Bollywood because they know how to do musicals.
They damn sure know how to do
everything else. It'd be any genre, and they sing it.
We all know why they did the musical.
No more musicals in America. Just stop it.
Yeah, because they wanted Lady Gaga.
Okay, but they got Lady Gaga.
She can act, though.
No, she can act.
She can't act. But here's the thing: they got Lady Gaga to be a person singing that can't sing, and that was the silliest casting. Because I've watched the movie, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, why do that?
Because I wanted to at least justify, okay,
if I'm going to say I hate it, I got to at least
say you. I'm
not saying I hate it.
Yeah, right.
No. If you watch that movie,
I'm going to hate it.
You're going to hate it.
Like, and again, I know how you are with movies.
Right.
You give them a chance.
You gonna hate it.
You enjoy some movies that are just quote unquote terrible.
Right.
Or whatever. This movie you will probably hate. I
gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it.
Again, you enjoyed the first one, and I think I understand why you enjoyed it because of the story they told. It was interesting.
Yeah.
It was cool. This was just like,
what are you doing?
it really felt like they were just like, let's see if we can make the worst movie ever and put it out. That's what it felt like.
Dude, I heard a theory that the director wanted to do that on purpose because he had no interest in, first off, doing a sequel, and they let him do the first movie how he wanted to, and he was like, nah, I'm not doing another. No, you got to do another. He's like, all right, I got you.
I was like,
and that's probably what he was doing.
And I think, like I said, it just, again, Clayface could work because Clayface as a backstory is a cool backstory. He's stage actor and all this other sort of stuff. So that could be interesting. I just hope this doesn't become the trend of them trying to constantly do this when it's just like Batman is right there. Like y'all have complete control and access to him.
Exactly.
Well, they did say that Patton is going to be his own universe, and they're going to
they did say that.
DCU Batman.
They did say that. But the other thing coming out of the whole DC Studios thing was what they said they're planning on doing moving forward. And this came in the midst of them talking about Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is already halfway through production.
Okay.
They said, and this may alarm you, Dido, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is like almost, it's like I don't want to say it's hardcore, but they said it's very, very sci-fi slanted. Good. Which is exactly the way the book was, right? Because it wasn't all about, Kara and her powers. She was on a journey through space, and she would travel on ships, and she was protecting this girl, and looking for Crypto. So hold on, because Crypto got abducted.
We're not about to get another Omega Hedron's quest, are we?
No.
From the original Supergirl.
Actually, but in the book, the Omega Hedron did show up.
Yeah.
In the book, the Omega Hedron did show up, but I digress. It is not supposed to be about that. Anyway,
we'll see.
They said the content calendar for DC Studios is going to be as follows. Every year, they are planning on doing 2 live actions, 1 animated movie, and 2 live action series, and 1 animated series. Every year.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That we'll see. Okay. Again, they got
some catching up to do.
It's not even about catching up because that was their problem the first time.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that was their problem.
They were trying to catch up. The MCU right off the gate.
Yeah,
that was the problem the first time.
It's almost like they're going too far in the other direction.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see. Obviously we're all gonna find out what happens in July, June.
Yes, when Superman comes out.
Yeah, with Superman. We'll see how that looks and how that plays out. But I hope they do not try to, kill themselves trying to get that, because 2 live action films a year is a lot. That means you literally will basically be working round the clock, especially your effects houses round the clock all year, because most movies take about 3 months to film. Then you got your post-production section. If these are a whole bunch of crossovers, that's even so. We're gonna have to see. It'll be interesting to see how they do it.
To wrap it up, this is a damn good question. Bring it back to the chat. Marcus X64 says, "So is Joker 2 Dark Phoenix bad or Morbius bad?"
Joker 2 makes Morbius look good.
Oh shit!
That's how annoying. That's how annoyingly bad that movie was, in my opinion. Like Morbius, I understand why it was bad because it was Avi Arad in his stuck in the 90s, way of doing comic book movies. But Morbius had some stuff that I liked. Joker 2, I literally could not find anything in that whole movie that was like, okay, that was good.
You gotta try real hard.
The whole movie is that bad.
Yeah, you gotta try real hard.
I usually don't say that, but for that one, it was like, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you gotta try real hard to make a movie that has no redeeming qualities. None.
Oh well.
You gotta try really, really hard.
Maybe in my next 2 weeks
he wasn't trying at all and just said, "Fuck it."
What'd you say? What'd you say? Simon said?
No, I said he wasn't even trying at all and just said, "Fuck it."
Hey man, that man pulled a Monty Williams like Monty Williams did to the Pistons. Like literally took like $60 million. It was like, hey man, I don't want to. He literally told the Pistons. He told Tom Gores, he was like, I do not want to coach this year. Leave me the fuck alone. Tom Gores said, hey man, here, write blank check. Just take it, come and coach my team. Okay, $60 million. You say, all right, fine. Here you go.
The year that they
80
last
yeah.
year?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that was the
Yes.
reason why they were so bad
Yes.
last year?
Literally.
He didn't
Literally. He said he did not want to coach. Tom Gore said, here, I'm going to give you an offer you can't refuse.
I'd have took it too.
Yeah, and exactly that's why he did.
But
He was like, I took the money.
That's so sad, though.
It's sad, but it's like,
no, not from the coach's side.
oh, from the owner's standpoint.
Yeah, from the owner. It's
I
like,
hear you.
bro,
You're wasting money.
you got $60 million. Give me $60 million.
I'll do
I'll
it.
coach the team, and I would love to do it.
I'd be down there to practice every day,
Like,
running
I might
suicides.
suck.
Right.
I might suck at it, but I'm gonna give you my all.
Yeah.
Man, freaking Monty Williams just mailed it in, and Tom Gore has paid him to go away.
How coveted is that coach where like he literally tells you I don't want to do it and you don't like look elsewhere? That don't make no sense to me.
Hey, man,
Obviously, he didn't have-
it's not like he didn't have other choices. He
He
did.
did. He
totally did.
He did.
He was like he was just literally lockstep. He was locked on Monty and was like, hey, I got to have him.
That's crazy.
It is crazy, man. It is crazy for it. Hey, it is what it is. We are where we are right now. The Pistons are doing really well, and I'm enjoying that.
But they was it under the same coach or was it a different coach?
Oh no,
Different coach.
he paid Monty to go away.
Wow.
See, and to me that's dumb.
He gave $69 million and said, get the fuck on out of here.
dumb.
He literally paid him to go away.
Wasting
Yes.
money.
That means
wasted
it's-
his money.
Again, that
Hey,
means
when
it's-
you're a billionaire, you can't waste money.
absolutely,
He made it back in his sleep. You said
Some
60 million?
things-
I get it.
Some
no, I mean,
things
yeah.
are about the principle of the matter, right?
I completely
But,
get
but
it.
I mean,
I'm
you
gonna tell
burning
you,
through
for
cap
you
money,
and me,
though. You
for
burning
you
through,
and me,
It don't count as cap. That's just his money.
yeah, that's
Oh,
just
I
his
was
money.
about to
That don't
say.
count
I
as
was
a
gonna
cap.
say,
I'm
for
about
you
to
and me,
say.
that might seem like he's burning
Right.
through something, but for a billionaire, literally, he
We can't fathom that.
just
spent
wasted
$600.
60 cents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
It was like, here, here's a pocket change. Take it.
Yeah.
Take the length, too. The length's worth more
basically.
than you are.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marcus 864. Where are the Hornets again in the playoff chase? Oh, I'm sorry. Where are they again?
Wow.
What?
Y'all ain't in the play-in.
Y'all
Don't
ain't
even
even
talk.
playing. Like what
Don't
are you
even
talking
talk.
about? Don't even talk. We sitting here in sixth place and just beat Boston today. Like what are you talking about? Anyway, I digress. That's the show for today, everybody. Thank you all for joining us this week. We'll be back next week, 14th. Yes, they're 14th, and there's only 15 teams in the conference.
The Hornets.
Damn.
Yes,
Damn.
there's only 15 teams in the conference. They're 14th. Anyway, I Cooper Flag coming.
Y'all
Okay,
ain't getting
yeah,
Cooper
okay,
Flag.
bro. Okay, man. Watch the draft lottery really screw y'all up. Anyway, make sure you come back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, for another great episode of Culture Junkies Live from my friends, the great Adekuji, GQ, and Simon Says. We'll see you guys.
Tell all your friends.
Peace out. Yes, come back.
We're
with all
giving
your
away
friends.
free pepperoni.
That's it. Free pepperoni.
Free pepperoni.